It's about 6 days before we head away on our King's birthday trip. The car is still in a million pieces, so stick around and we'll put this thing back together. I was hoping to have this together already, but I haven't been able to find the time to be in here. So nothing like getting stuff done at the last minute. So where we left off the other week, if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch it. We pulled this down from the Tassie trip to assess some of the damage, and it just needed a bit of a once over because in Tasmania, it just sort of went back together, you know, knowing that I was gonna pull it apart. So we stripped it down and I've seen that this right-hand side wheel bearing is absolutely cooked. I need a new diff gasket and some axle seals and a few other bits and pieces. So of course, I spoke to the guys at Roadrunner Off-Road and they sorted me out all these goodies. So for starters, this is some of the things that we got. So we've got 2 DriveTech wheel bearing kits here. Come with the back seal and the inner and outer bearing. So there's 2 kits there. We've got these Trail Gear inner axle seals, which is what I like to run. If everything's this far apart and you're doing wheel bearings in that, you know, just throw in axle seals while you're there. They're not that dear. These still seemed all right, but yeah, while I'm there, I'll just throw some new seals in. I went into my spares box and I found another hub, because yeah, that hub obviously is leaking in through the locking ring on the front side. So they can leak through this behind here, and then that's why all this bearing, the outer bearing behind the hub and everything is all like dirty and rusty. So this one in here looks pretty clean. So yeah, hopefully this one, it seals up a little bit better. So behind that free and lock engagement, there's like an O-ring seal behind it, and my cousin actually tried to chase a few of them up, but couldn't seem to find them because yeah, once that happens, you know, once they're letting mud and that in, they're really no good for a permanent solution. Like not so bad for a spare, but you know, that hub's probably not going to go back on. So we might have to do some more hunting around and see if we can find a solution for that. So this CV is actually the one out of the race car. And if you've been following long enough, last year before Wild Dog, we broke the inner axle. So this is a new inner axle and then an original bell and outer axle. I just took this to Tassie for a spare. I was taking this racing as a spare, so it's a good spare to have around. So there is warranty on the RCV axles, but I don't think they had a normal chromoly RCV inner axle short side, which is what I've broken. So I just left that with them, and then I'll pick that up at a later date because that'd be a good spare for this car. And because I want to keep, you know, that one for a spare, yeah, I thought, you know, I'll bite the bullet, and I ended up buying just a 300M short side, a brand newie. They're actually a real nice looking axle, got a cool color about them. They are pretty expensive to buy initially, but they do offer like a lifetime warranty for the original purchaser. I think that's how it goes. So yeah, if you break one like I did, yeah, RCV replace that. And being realistic, you know, nothing is unbreakable, but they just take a serious amount of abuse before they break. So I'm sure I probably would have broken a couple of standard CVs in this car, especially the race car would have definitely broken a couple standard ones. So yeah, these just withstand the abuse. Like this short side, that went in the race car in 2018 and it broke last year. So it lasted 4 years in there of pretty serious abuse. And then the normal chromoly that was just in the wagon that I broke in Tassie, that had been in there since 2018 as well. And yeah, also had a lot of abuse. So that done 5 years in this car. And yeah, you just, you know, they send it back and then you get a replacement. So that is pretty cool. I've got these shocks to go back in. They're all rebuilt and ready to go. I did chase up some new spherical bearings. I tried to buy some more locally, but it was a bit of a saga. So just for this trip, I found some super cheap ones, as in like $10, not even $10 each. So we'll see how long they last. If they last more than the trip, then I'm winning. There's also a stack of other little jobs. I got another gas strut that goes between the back door and the tyre swing away. I'm just going to throw a couple new of these quad ring seals in the locker while it's out. Yeah, there's sort of like a bit of oil residue up the locker line. So yeah, I'll throw some new seals in that and whatever else I find on the way. So enough talking, I'm actually really running out of time. So Pat's coming around to give me a hand, and he's actually gonna be in my car for Queen's birthday. So yeah, he's coming around to give me a hand. Yeah, we're gonna get all this back together and go from there. So let's do it. Yeah. Oh, I think so. Last job. Job done. Last bit to go in. All right, finally that is done. So actually I've just got to put the limit straps on, but shocks are in, front ends together, oil, it's all done. It's actually a very time consuming process when you got to do it properly. So, you know, clean everything up, re-grease stuff, repack bearings, all that sort of stuff is super time consuming. So that took a fair while, but it's pretty much together. So I'll just put the limit straps on. I'm gonna put the bigger wheels on, the pitties, because this size tyre is probably not going to be that good for where we're planning on going. So I'll throw them on the front and back, and then we'll keep ticking jobs off. There's still a few more to go. How much better does it look with these wheels on? It makes it look sick, I reckon. So while I was tinkering around, I managed to get the number plate on here. So I just used like, yeah, 2 cap head bolts and like the dome head ones, and they fit there, which is where the radius of the jerry can is, so there should be no obstruction there. I've just got to work out how to get a number plate light on there. Well, the shed was a bloody pigsty, so I'm just giving it a quick clean up, and of course we vacuum the shed. So I thought I'd quickly add this in since I am going camping, and this is relevant to that. So when I go camping, I take like these 2 boxes. One of them's filled with like cutlery and bowls and plates and the fry pan and that. And then the other box has got like salt, pepper, garbage bags, Ziploc bags, oil, you know, all that sort of consumable stuff. So yeah, then when I go camping, I just throw the boxes in, and then when I get home, the idea is to repack the boxes so they're on the shelf ready to go. But they don't really fit in the back that well, and it's been annoying me for ages now. So I chased up some of these boxes. They're Expedition 134s. They're Australian made and owned, which is actually really cool. I've already packed this one. It's got all the cutlery and that in there. And then I've still got to do that one there. They are pretty dear, but they have like a 3-pack thing, so I bought 3 of these boxes. Yeah, it was probably more than I'd want to spend on some plastic boxes, but they're pretty heavy duty and they're awesome quality. They've got a seal around them and they stack. So plenty of good reasons to buy. They'll last ages. Now, I paid full price for them. I just think they're a good product. And it's good to support Australian owned and made. So it makes you feel a little bit better. The idea with the third box is I'm gonna make like an overnight camping box. So this sort of stuff set up for a couple of days. And then the overnight box will just be, yeah, if we go for short overnight trips, or if I take my ute camping or whatever, you know, I can just throw that one box on the back and it'll just have the bare basics in it, nothing over the top. But same idea, it's just sitting on the shelf ready to go. So when you're packing the car and getting ready, you know, that's one less headache you have to deal with. Just throw the boxes in, throw the swag, the stretcher, the chair, and then pack the fridge and you're out of there. It's a full tourist setup now. I actually don't mind the look of the jerry cans on the back. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to going camping without having them in the car somewhere. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I know probably not the best one, but so we're heading away in like 5 days. I've got one more video to make with some major upgrades going on. Hopefully that can happen pretty quick. It's not like labor intensive work, but it's some serious upgrades to the car, which I cannot wait for. You'll see all that in the next one. And I'm getting pumped for this King's birthday trip. So until then, we'll see you on the next one.